My name's Angelo from KamadoCook.com, and what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the MeatStick. 50-something thousand of you watched my review of the Meter smart thermometer, so let's talk about the MeatStick smart thermometer. It is a wireless smart thermometer, just like we had with the Meter, but there are some key differences here. So we're going to talk about the physical hardware, some pros, some cons. We're going to talk about what this does differently than any other smart thermometer on the market. And then we're going to jump into the app, because what is the point of a smart thermometer if it doesn't have a very functional, easy to use smart app? The app, in my opinion, is actually more important than the thermometer, because the thermometer tells temperature. They all do. They're all pretty accurate. But the app is what separates mediocre from amazing. So let's talk about the hardware. So this is the actual thermometer itself, very pointy end. And then the cap here, this is what's communicating to the sort of the relay, the case. So this goes in the meat all the way up until the cap. And then this will Bluetooth to this. And then this is what communicates with your phone. And what's important to note here is this is the MeatStick X. So it has 260 feet of range. And that's very, very important, because other products are about 160 feet. This is what's pushing the range. So when you plug this into the meat, make sure that this is nearby, and then this will broadcast 260 feet out. Let's talk about the case. What's really cool is the back is magnetic. So I actually just leave this on the side of my refrigerator. When it's time to get my meat ready in the kitchen, I prep it on the table. I pull this off the fridge. I shove this in the meat, and then we're good to go. And I use a Kamado grill. So I just leave this outside next to the Kamado, and then my phone can communicate with this as I'm moving around the house. The thermometer has two different sort of temperature gauges. One is the meat, and this line right here is where it's reading the meat temperature. And the other is the ambient temperature. So this is the temperature in the grill, in the oven, in the sous vide, and in the fryer. Yes, this can sous vide and this can fry. No other thermometer on the market can do that. Let's take a look at a direct comparison. This is obviously from the MeatStick website, but let's take a look at a direct comparison between this and the Meter as far as features and functions are concerned. So if we're looking here, obviously there's a lot of similarities. These are both Bluetooth thermometers. They both can deal with heat. They both can go in the dishwasher. But some of the differences here. So let's just go left to right. So heat resistance, 572 degrees for the MeatStick. And that is why it can do the deep frying, because it's a little more resistant to those high heats than the Meter is. Bluetooth range is 260 feet as opposed to Meter's 165. And that is because of this and the Bluetooth technology that they're using. The Wi-Fi is interesting. So I have the MeatStick X. This is not the Wi-Fi model. And frankly, I haven't needed the Wi-Fi model because, 260 feet is pretty far. And my grill is in the back. I'm in my office right now, and I've done many, many grilling sessions with this range, and it's never been an issue. So Wi-Fi would be amazing, a nice little perk. You never have to worry about anything. You can literally check it from anywhere in the world. But for what I'm doing, and so far, I have not walked out of range. I have not had issues. But the Wi-Fi is interesting here because if I decide, you know what, it would be nice to have Wi-Fi, I can just buy the Wi-Fi adapter for this set. I don't need to go out and buy an entirely new set, where with the Meter, you either have the Wi-Fi one or you don't. You can't just take your regular Meter, oh, you know what, let me add the Wi-Fi function, and then add it later. You have it or you don't, and it costs a lot more money to do it that way. Connectable probes, 8 to 4. I don't know if that actually matters. Battery life, they're both the same. Dishwasher safe. I never actually used my Meter and put it in the dishwasher. I've never done that. And they've never advertised as dishwasher safe. So I am surprised to see it here. But the MeatStick, that was like their big selling point early on, was that it's dishwasher safe. So I've thrown this in the dishwasher, and you can see just how clean this is. It is not gunked up, no smoke rings, not even buried by the plastic. And I feel like it's working just fine. I haven't had any issues running it through the dishwasher. Obviously, I don't put it on the sanitized setting, but just throw it in with everything else, put it with the forks and knives, and it's good to go. Sous vide and deep frying. Sous vide is super easy with this. You literally shove it in the meat, you vacuum seal it, and the probe stays inside the vacuum seal bag, and you're good. It'll communicate through the water to this box, and this box will talk to your phone, and you have all the features and functions that you needed, you know, in or out of the water. And then the deep frying is what's really, really incredible. Deep frying is interesting. Let's say you're deep frying a turkey, or you're deep frying chicken wings on the stove, or not chicken wings, drumsticks on the stove, or fried chicken in the house. Deep frying is tricky because, you know, you don't necessarily know the internal temperature. It's like, ever read deep fry instructions? It's when it's crispy brown on the outside. What? How long is that? And how do I know it's cooked on the inside until I take a bite out of it? So the fact that you can use this in a deep fryer, or deep fry your chicken in the pan with this meter or with the meat probe, that's huge. That's really, really cool. And then modularity. This is just some fake marketing thing, but it's basically saying you can just add to this. I mentioned with the Wi-Fi, you can add the Wi-Fi bridge, where with the meter, you can't just add features or functions. So let's dig into the app. But again, to review, magnetic back for convenience. Normal size probe. It's not too thick. It's not too long, so you're not going to shred or destroy your meat. 2 different temperature gauges, one for inside the meat, one for your grill, so you can know, oh boy, it's way too hot, or uh-oh, I need to add wood. It's not hot enough. And then we have the ability to add Wi-Fi if we wanted to, and we can certainly use this on our grill, in our oven, in a pot or pan, in a smoker, or in a deep fryer, or in a sous vide. But let's dig into the app, because if it's not easy to use, what the hell's the point? Let's take a look. Before we really dig into some of the features, let's just look at the settings, because I always talk about how important the software is. I mean, thermometers are thermometers, and for the most part, they're accurate. The software is what makes the experience good or bad. So I'm just going to click on the little hamburger menu in the top left, and we're going to go into settings. And here, right off the bat, you'll see keep screen on during cook. And that's a pretty cool feature that doesn't exist in other smart thermometer apps. And it basically does exactly that. It keeps your screen on so you can see what's going on. Maybe for whatever reason, you don't want this screaming at you, but you want to be able to see it, whether it's on your tablet or your phone. You have this feature here, and you can keep the screen on so you can always see where your cook is and not have to go looking for it. The other is, if we go into alert settings, I have 2 features here that I really like. One is alert duration. I can have this scream at me for 10 seconds or 30 seconds, which is important because depending on the situation, you just want to be like, my hands are dirty, I'm doing stuff with the meat, just let me know, 10 seconds, I'll hear it, and that's the end of it. 30 seconds, let me get a little longer to make sure I hear it. Where there's other apps that just scream at you the whole time until you do something, which is a problem, because if my hands are dirty and I'm doing stuff, I'm prepping stuff, I don't need my phone screaming at me for 10 minutes. Or some just go ding or a push notification and there's no sound, and then you're screwed, right? Meter does that. Meter will just send you a quick push notification and there's no like alarm to tell you that your food is ready. The other is I can change the alert sound. I don't know how many of you are familiar with iOS, but iOS doesn't really let you do that. This has to be built into the app. You can't just do this on your phone. And there's a bunch of options here doing different picture notifications and then different sounds as well. So it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty cool. But those are just some small little features that let you make this work for you. One thing that separates the MeatStick from all of the other, not only smart thermometers, but regular thermometers in general, is how versatile it is and how easy it is to set up a cook. First thing I'm doing, I'm just going to click right on that setup cook. And the first thing I want to show you is right here on this step, we're just saying, how are we cooking? Is it in an oven? Is it on the stove? Is it in the grill? But look at the bottom. We can sous vide and we can deep fry with the MeatStick. No other smart thermometer can do that. With sous vide, it's super easy. You literally just shove the MeatStick into your meat and you vacuum seal it all together. So the stick is inside the vacuum seal bag. With deep fry, it's the same thing. You stuff it inside of whatever you're cooking, chicken, I don't know what else you'd be deep frying, shove it in that, and then just put it in the deep fryer, and it's good to go. The signal will work its way out of the grease. The signal will work its way out of the plastic bag, get back to the box, and communicate to the app. So For the sake of this, though, I'm just going to click grill. Let's say we're grilling or smoking, whatever it is. Then we say what type of meat, and obviously it's going to give us suggestions on how long we should cook, and the app knows carryover, for example. The carryover on some beef is very different than the carryover on chicken or pork, and the app knows that. So let's just go ahead. We're going to say steak, and it's saying I can now name this. So if I'm doing multiple steaks, so I'll just say wife's, which means it's going to be well done and burnt and be disgusting, but for the sake of this, we'll do medium rare like a normal person, and that's our target. So our target's 135 degrees. The target ambient temperature for my grill or my smoker, I can set that as well. So let's just say we're going to reverse sear it. So we'll do, 250 degrees. And now I can set my alerts. And this is what's really cool here is we can do alerts for the actual meat itself or ambient temperature. So early warning. So let me know when my meat gets to 140 degrees, whatever it is. The target's 135. So actually, let's say at 115, let me know. I want to know when I'm that close. And then ambient temperature alerts, I need to know if my grill goes under 180 degrees or over 383, whatever. And you can be as precise as you want because I need to know, do I need to manage my fire? Do I need to go in there, add wood, remove wood, add charcoal, whatever it is. And then you insert your probe to the meat. And if you look at the graphic here, all the way up to the plastic. So shove that in there as far as it goes. Click start cooking. And we are off to the races. My phone is on silent. So this warning is, hey, you're dummy. Your phone's on silent. You're not going to hear the alerts, but that's fine, right? And now all it's going to do is work through the cook. Now that our cook is set up and it's on its way, it's working. Just go ahead, you click on it. We see elapsed 1 minute, 40, it's just clicking through. The remaining, that's going to calculate how much time is left in the cook. It's going to see how long did it take to go from 40 degrees internal to 45 and how long, blah, 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 blah. It'll do a calculation. It knows it's beef, etc. And that's when it'll tell you when to take it off the grill. And what's amazing is it'll tell you to take it off before the perfect temperature because it knows it will continue to cook even after you remove it from the grill. So this will calculate how long you've been cooking, which is easy, obviously, how much time is left, and then here are your meat temperature, the target temperature, and then we have our chart here as well. So you'll see ambient in blue, internal. Right now the thermometer is literally on my desk, so these numbers are all pointless. But you see what I'm saying here. And at any moment, I can click edit, and I can adjust. I can change, I can change my alerts. Let's say, it's really cold outside, or I want to get this done as quickly as possible. I'm gonna bump up the temp on the grill, so let me change the alert on the grill as well. So lots of options, super cool, super fun, and obviously I could just share this, text it to my buddies, send a link, just share my cook with other people in case they want to follow along. Hey, honey, I know you're at the store. Here's the link. This is how long you have until the cook is done. But either way, super easy. Fun's a weird word to use for a cooking product, but it actually is nice to monitor the progress, know how much time you have left, and you can really start to plan, especially if you have sides going. We just did a steak. Let's say I'm doing a brisket. That thing's going to take forever. But sometimes a brisket cooks in 12 hours. Other times the exact same brisket, exact same temperature, for some reason is done in 8. No reason. We don't know why that happens. So the remaining time calculator is very helpful for prepping sides and other other dishes to go along with it. Let me know if you have any questions about the app or the meter, the meat stick, whatever. We're comparing these. We go through all these products. Let me know, and I'll address them in the comments. Honestly, guys, this might be the best smart thermometer on the market. I've been a big meter guy. I've been using meter for a very long time. I was a huge proponent of them. I've done a bunch of comparison videos between meter and other products, and the meter is always the best. And a lot of it had to do with the alerts and how you're able to do custom alerts. But the fact that we have that alert functionality in what I honestly think is an easier to use app, plus the ability to deep fry, plus the ability to sous vide, the fact that the range is farther, it still has the convenient metal back or magnet back, which that sounds so stupid. I know I've said that 4 or 5 times, It is so convenient. It's just on the fridge and I just grab it and go. It's so easy. Anyway, the fact that it has all the meter functionality and then more, I genuinely, wholeheartedly, this is the best smart thermometer on the market. I prefer this over the meter. I may go all in and buy a few of these and sell off my meters or do a giveaway or something like that. But MeatStick, I can't find anything wrong with it at all. At all. It's accurate. The range is great. It's ridiculously versatile. I get it super clean. I love the MeatStick. Let me know your comments below. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to see different comparison videos. I know people love versus, meter versus MeatStick, MeatStick versus Inkbird. I'm telling you right now, this is the best one. It will win any of those versus contests. I've been using this for months. Let me know. There is a link in the description if you want to click on that. If you have any comments, questions, comment down below. I try to get back to everybody. I'll see you soon.